Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. Today, we are going to continue our ongoing adventure exploring the starter set adventure. What is it called? It's called something.
Mhm.
I don't remember. I don't remember. It's called the adventure. It goes through like 3 years, the first 3 years of Arthur's reign. And if I can get to the cover of this book, it is called The Sword Campaign. That's pretty easy. So we went through the first year already in 510, the Adventure of the Sword and the Stone, or the Adventure of the Sword Tournament, actually. And now we are in 511. Uh, and these are years are not like historically vetted. This is just the years that the game Pendragon uses. And this is called the Adventure of the Forest of the Silver Deer, and we're in 511. So far the play yeah, I'll introduce the players and I think they will tell me what happened last time, and then I will fill in gaps or answer questions or whatever. All right, so first we have Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Sir Clarion.
All right, and now Amy.
Hello. I am playing Dame Linnell, who is 21. She is basically, as you can see on the screen here, she's been promoted to a household knight. She actually did get knighted. Um, and her home court is with King Arthur. And she's pretty excited. She's got a little love interest in going in the game, but we'll see where that goes. But that's who I'm playing.
All right, and what happened last time?
We were told by King Arthur um that Sir Clarion and I should take these three gifts to these three different locations because he's trying to gain favor with these lords so that they'll fight on his side. Um, and we delivered our first one on down here to the Castle of Salt with the pillars of salt and everything. It was a very pretty place, but don't lick anything. And we had an incident where they went and they tried to take our stuff. They took, I want to say, the saddle that we're supposed to deliver to. I don't remember if it's Leo de Grance we're supposed to give the saddle to or if it was a different lord. But basically, our our little guys were hiding them and they did a really good job. And as you can see down here, we each have I'm getting down here. Sorry, squires. Mine is Patrick. And Patrick hid the Bible behind himself. And Sir Clarion, his squire, was not as successful hiding the bridle. That's a bigger thing to try and hide. And the king of Castle Salt kept it from us because he thought it was going to Leo de Grance and he's trying to like stick it to Leo. So they delivered us back out here, telling us to head back to our kingdom, but instead we went up here through the forest, got into a fight with some Picts, defeated one Pict, so Linnell was able to send her note with that Pict to Sir James, who's her love interest. And then as we were exiting the forest, I want to say it was as we were exiting over here, we met up with an old guy who we impressed with our honor and, with our station. And he's having his grandson, Arb,
Arn.
escort us over here
Yep.
to the next castle. And I believe we're supposed to see Leo de Grance there.
Right. So for some context, the king of Galboy or Galbois, however you pronounce it, if you're French, or is it how would you pronounce it in Welsh, Arlen?
I don't think it's a Welsh
It's not a
word. I
Welsh
think
word,
it's
right? So
Galville. Yeah.
Galba, whatever. Anyway, this King Nim, he's a very petty individual, and he kept some things for himself. But they actually impressed, just to let you know, they actually impressed his men, both Dame Linnell and Sir Clarion, and the men they kind of turned a blind eye. They just left him at a ford and said, "Okay, go home," and then they turned around and left him. So knowing that they would probably continue their mission, but having to go through the forest and not on the normal roads, which delayed them about 5 days. They have a timeline for this, like 3 weeks or so. And they went through the forest, ran these Picts uh, um, ambushed them or tried to ambush them, but I think it was Sir Clarion who was alert and energetic enough to prevent that. It was a hard fought victory because the Picts outnumbered them, but they defeated all of them and captured one. And this is the one that Dame Linnell is sent with a note to Sir James, and Sir James is in the court of King Lot or serves King Lot. They think he's a household knight. I believe he's a household knight for King Lot, who is the enemy of King Arthur, or the leader of the enemies of King Arthur at this time. So they did exit the forest, and they met this old man, and they impressed him with their ability to talk to him in his own language. They're not really their station. They didn't lord over him by any means, but they understood his sort of Westlands brogue, and were able to talk to him. And he likewise was impressed with them for not beating him with their fists like most knights might do. And he said, "Hey, take my grandson will take you to Carlways," and that is Little Arn. So, is there anything I missed, Arlen?
I think so.
Um, okay, here's what I came up with. King Nim of Galois is a little hypertense, right?
Hypertense?
Because he lives in the Castle of Salt, and so he
Oh,
can raise
that
your
may
blood
be
pressure.
right.
Yeah.
That might
No,
be
I
it.
think that's everything.
Okay, cool. All right, so here we are. So it took you 8 days to get from Carleon through to the Castle of Salt, Galbois, through the Forest of Arden, and then 2 days later, you are uneventful days. You are here before Carlways. So, and
So
what
we are
happens
now
here?
on day 10 of 21.
Yes. So, right. So as you get there, um, you get to this Mott and Bailey Castle, and you come within hailing distance, and a guard calls out to you from the parapet. "Who are you, and what do you want here?"
We're on a diplomatic mission from uh, good King Arthur here to see your lord, King Leodegrance.
And who are the other ones? Who,
I am Dame Linnell, also here as a household knight of King Arthur with Sir Clarion for the same reason, to see our good friend Leo de Grance, who happens to have been Sir Clarion's would they have called him your lord? Out of game, would he have been called your lord?
Yeah, back when I was the working as a knight for him,
yeah,
Yeah.
mercenary knight.
yeah.
Yes. He was a mercenary knight of your lord, Leo de Grance, and we would love to be able to speak with him.
Okay, so you guys can both attempt courtesy. I guess I
Courtesy.
should make a courtesy check. Is that right?
I
Courtesy.
guess so.
And this is probably a good time to audit our passions. That just reminded me to do that.
Oh,
Looks like they
Oh, wow,
oh,
critical. Dang. Okay, if you haven't checked courtesy, you can check courtesy.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Use the passions.
so Sir Clarion, I guess he looks skeptically at you, the guard here at the gate.
Mhm.
He looks skeptically at you as you say that, but then Dame Linnell gives some more context to why you're here, and is more forthcoming in who she is. And yeah, okay. Well, he says that is good. And then at that point, little Arn steps forward and he says, "Sir Ambrute, it is me, little Arn." Let me in. These people wish to speak with Lord Hyphith. Yeah, that would be spelled this way.
And the bridal was for a count whose name starts with an S, and I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have the
But we were
Bible? I
supposed
think
to
the
talk to
Bible
him
is for Lord Typhus, right?
for
No, Leo de
Leodegrance.
Grants. The
Yeah,
Bible is, yeah, I can go back and tell you exactly.
yeah.
Um,
But the problem with Count S is that he also maybe swore fealty to King Lot, so we're not sure about him.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is
Well, we already gave the one to the king at the castle of Salt.
you're right.
The Bible is for Leo de Grant, so the bridal would be for
The last guy.
the last guy.
Yeah.
And that is the third message, no one but the courtly men.
Okay, so
The count count somebody.
Yeah. I don't remember. Count,
we'll just I'll just write
Count
that.
S.
Uh, Sir Sanum Count Bedegrain. Leo,
Pendragon.
so it was Nim, Leo de Grants of Camelliard, Sanum, Sir Sanum Count Bedegrain. And yep. But there are some complications at the Castle of Salt because King Nim is a little, you know,
Fidgety
salty.
widgety.
Right. Okay. All right. So here you are. So, all right. Oh, so back to the audit here. So basically there are some groups of passions. There's passions of fidelitas, which include all your homage and your loyalties, passions of fervor, which are your hate and loves, passions of adoratio, which is your adoration, devotion to deity, and adoration to beloved. And then there's the passions of civilitas, of chivalry, hospitality, station. So none of those can be, the total of those cannot be over 40. So in each section. So you can't have more than 40 in fidelitas, more than 40 in fervor, 40 in adoratio, or 40 in civilitas categories. So we should check those and see where we're at with that.
Just changing that. Because I have fealty, loyalty, and homage all to King Arthur, but that's okay. Okay, so honor would be part of which one?
Civilitas. Is that right?
I'm going to put D.
D.
Fealty is part of which one?
Um, sorry, so honor is honor. No, honor is where's honor? I figured honor would be civilitas, but it doesn't seem like it. Maybe honor is separate.
All right. Passion.
Yeah, it looks like honor might be separate, a separate thing.
Okay.
So homage, loyalty, and homage and loyalties are one group, and fealties. Homage, fealty, and loyalties are one group.
Okay.
Hate, love are another group. Adoration, devotion are another group, and then chivalry,
I'm
hospitality,
trying
and
to hang on a second.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm
Maybe
gonna.
maybe we should pause.
Okay, we can pause. I can find the pause. Sorry, we took a pause there, but we are back and you didn't even notice. But what we did is we audited the passions. So in the current incarnation of the game, the sixth edition, they divide the passions up into courts, and you can only have 40 in a particular court. So they have fidelitas, which is like your loyalties and fealties and homages. And then you have your the passion, the fervor, right? Fervor, I think it is, and that's your love and hate. Then you have the adoratio, which is devotion and adoration. And then finally, you have the civilitas, which are hospitality, station, and chivalry. And what's interesting is honor is a category on its own, and it can go up and down, not just necessarily on whether you make or not your passion, but it can be, if you fail a mission, for example, like if these good knights, Sir Clarion and Dame Linnell, fail this mission, they will lose honor. But you can also call upon honor as if it were a passion. So it's a little different, and it's its own category. So I guess we were discussing that. I guess the idea in the new rules is that you cannot be notable in some courts for more than one passion. But of course, then if you're devoted to God, you can max that out, and still there's only one other type of passion in that court, and you could max that one out too. So I guess it's interesting, and but those are the rules, and that's what we're gonna continue to do, and until such time as we need to house rule it. So right, okay. So here we were outside the gates of Carawase, and yes, so little Arn steps forward after Sir Clarion and Dame Linnell introduce themselves. And there we go. Yeah, I don't know why this happens to me all the time. Okay. And he says, Sir Umbrut, it's me, little Arn. Let me in to speak with Lord Hiffith. And the knight stares for a little bit, trying to place the name to the face, but then he waves the boy over. Arn actually wades into the shallow moat and then goes through the postern door next to the drawbridge. You guys wait a little bit. I don't know if you fidget or not. Um, but
Dame Linnell would be just sitting upright because that's what her training would have led her to do, that a lady always sits proper.
Okay.
And I would think Patrick would be holding the reins to the horse, and he would be keeping the horse still too.
Okay. All right. So takes about a half an hour or so. I don't know what little Arn did in that half an hour. The drawbridge lowers, and a few guards escort you into the castle. So when you gain entry, the guards show you to the hall where you meet Sir Hiffith. He's the castellan of Carawase, and that's where he awaits. I think I put his name somewhere up there. Yeah, I put Lore Hiffith because I can't spell, but it's Sir. There you go for people again. Who's a castellan, like I said, of Carawase. He's an older knight. He only has one hand, you notice, and he greets you, offers you his hospitality, and he insists on discussing business not until after the evening meal. So he has a squire escort you to your guest lodge in the Bailey to wash up and change before dinner. All right. So any questions or interruptions for that procedure?
Well, I think when they first got there, I would think that Dame Linnell would look at Sir Clarion to see if he says anything and kind of allow him to take the lead because he's the more senior knight.
To Clarion, any
Well, I still don't.
deviation from
I
the
don't think that's true, but I think we'll go clean off the dust of the road and all that sort of stuff.
right, right.
Um,
I think Dame
in
Linnell would have
Clarion's
brought,
case, shave.
Yeah.
yeah, she would have brought a nice gown and she would dress as a lady to dinner.
Okay.
And don't we have a gift for him, or is he the one that they took the bridle?
No, this is a castellan. It's not. So remember,
Yeah,
well,
we
I
don't.
mean,
Is Leodegrance have? Can we ask around if Leodegrance is even here? Because Arthur wants him to join up with the army so they can go fight Lot's army, right?
right. Yeah.
So
So you don't,
um,
I mean, you can actually, I guess you can either use what is, I guess, is that the intrigue or awareness? Is that right? You could use one of those skills, I believe.
All right, I will use intrigue to try to see if
If you
maybe
you
a large
hear,
force of troops has just left the castle.
I would, okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's happened or not.
right.
Can I use my awareness or intrigue to look for Sir James or ask about Sir James?
Well, he wouldn't be.
Sir James wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but if I'm asking for Sir James, I could say he's with Lot. You know, he's a knight in Lot's army. If he's nearby, you know.
I don't think you don't have to make a roll for that.
I
They would say
mean,
they don't know. They
well,
don't know.
I'll just sort of take Dame Liddell aside and make the point that these people that live a lot closer to Lothian, they might not be as willing to share in the sort of comradely disagreement that the Knights of the South might feel, and have blood feuds and all that sort of stuff, like the classic Marcher lords in the Scottish English borderlands. And so, you might want to tone down the talk about Sir James because they might not feel as friendly towards those bastards from the north.
Okay, I was just trying to find my love.
Well, it's not, I'm not saying that you shouldn't look for him. I'm just saying, they might feel differently about him closer to King Lot's lands.
Right, right.
But isn't he with King Lot?
Yeah. Well,
No.
but I guess what I'm saying is like, the historical enmity between Cameliard and Lothian might be a little more significant than it is where we're from.
Okay.
Okay.
Can she use her intrigue to, or something like that, to try and ask around about, I don't know, just if there's like a saddle shop or something, because she still wants to replace the bridle that she's supposed to be giving to the count that the other king took.
Yeah, not here in Carowace. I mean, you could probably talk to, there might be a leather worker. So I guess you could make intrigue or awareness to see if you can find like a leather worker. I don't think they're gonna be able to make a nice bitten bridle, but
Yeah, like
nothing is
the
gaudy, right?
the
Nothing
the
is rich.
the gold bridle that we lost is like, the cost of a war horse or something, right?
Yeah.
If I remember. So it's
So you could
not.
get a replacement, but it would be a poor replacement. Might be very nice depending. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
you can find a pretty good leather worker here in Carowace, but it's not going to be. It's going to be probably a fine quality bridle, but a fine quality bridle in the fact that it can be used as opposed to being a work of art and a very expensive work of art. So, although you do have a lot of money, so you could dump money into that, but I don't think you can dump. How much was that bridle? 15.
Yeah, I have 3 pounds from ransoms, so but
I
not gonna purchase a gold bridle with that,
no,
unfortunately.
I'm trying to think like she basically wants to give a gift to this count and explain what happened.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, so you
and
find a guy who can make a
and
replacement bridle.
what I'm thinking, it doesn't have to be a bridle if he's a leather worker, maybe since, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in this time period, religion would matter. Do we know if this count is a Christian or known as a Christian?
You have no idea. I guess I guess that'd also be intrigue. Right, or recognize, I guess.
So I need to roll recognize because I'm thinking if he did that, maybe I could have a nice leather cover for a Bible that I could present to him, or even maybe some engraved leather riding gloves for him.
Yeah, the riding gloves is probably a good idea.
So maybe some engraved
So how
leather.
much money do you want to, how much, see, how much were these things? I know there was a list somewhere of how much these things were. Does someone have that written down?
No, I mean it.
Uh,
She's not going to replace it at the same value, but it's the fact that a wrong was done and she's trying to make it right.
Right, right. Oh, here it is. Okay.
I was looking for the
The
guide.
gold Bible is worth £5, actually. A fine bit and bridle of silver and tooled leather worth £5. So if you have that, I mean, that's probably within reach.
We could buy him. Okay, so
I mean, I have £7, and it's how much would it be to replace that one?
I mean, it's £5, but remember that your annual upkeep costs £4. Although Arthur takes care of a lot of that for the household knights, so you need at least £2, £1 for you and £1 for your squire and your horses.
Because what I'm thinking is maybe the thing to do is to not worry about getting him another gaudy thing that most likely he's not going to use.
But
And
giving
just
a
talk to
giving
the
a
leather worker about making engraved leather riding gloves for him for Sir Sarion. And if we
for
know his
Sanum, yeah.
last name, maybe they can, engrave it with his crest on the gloves.
Okay.
I would just need a price on it. But if we did that, I think if we present those to him and say, look, this was taken on our watch, and I honestly can't replace a gift like that and a wrongdoing that was done to you, but we took it upon ourselves to get you a gift that would be more usable for you and more presenting to, because in battle they'd be on your arm, your hands, and protect you, and something like that.
All right. Well, how much you want to dump into this leather gloves?
It depends on how much they would charge us. I would think maybe £1. I mean, that's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I'll see if
yeah, I'm looking at the price lists
Yeah, so I'm
to
looking at
page
too.
208 and 209. Seems like that's a right. £1 is the same cost as like a gold finger ring or a silver brooch, um, or a nice tapestry.
Yeah, artisan stuff,
Mm-hmm.
luxury goods. A gold dish is worth 7. A gold goblet, quite a lot.
is one
Like it.
cheap. I mean,
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want £1 is a lot. I mean, that's like a quarter of your yearly income. So £1 would be significant. I mean, it is like it is the equivalent of a silver medallion or brooch, right?
Mm-hmm.
all
Or a
right.
gold finger ring.
Then I will spend the £1 if the leather worker is willing to do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I took it out of my money there, my £1. But I mean, obviously, I would think this leather worker would do a really good job
Yeah.
oiling it up and having them very presentable. And
Okay.
she doesn't have enough time to do needlework on her own, but I mean,
Well,
if
you
you
pay
get
him that
that,
amount. You pay him that amount of money for materials, and then take whatever he wants for labor.
yeah.
He says he can get it to you within 3 days.
Will we have enough time for that?
I don't know. You have to.
We're on day
We're
10.
on day 10, so day 13. I think that's still, I mean, it's going to be tight, but
Well, we arrived there on day 10, and obviously we have to spend the night because that's what he wanted. So that puts us at day 11, 12:30. It'd be day 13, we'd be heading out. And how far are we from Leo de Grance and um the Count?
well, we're going to have to, I think we're going to ask Sir Hifit about what's going on in the region.
Yeah. Because we can always ask for him to send a messenger with it to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like, well, I don't know. What would be the equivalent of geography in this game? So you might know where, how far things are. I guess that would be survival. I could see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Survival.
You know, is it
This
survival?
this game doesn't use survival. It uses
Hunting,
hunting for a lot of
hunting.
that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a five
Oh.
thing.
All right, let's see what I know about distances.
Let's watch
Nope.
me fail.
yeah. You don't.
Nope, I failed two.
Yeah, you don't know the exact, but you think that um you think that it's within a few days at least.
Is there anything I can do to see if I can't speed him up with the leather gloves? Because I'm assuming he has leather already.
Well, he says if you want just standard, I mean, this is a work of art. You said, Dame,
But your
sir,
gloves are made
ma'am.
already, you know.
But I would make something unique for a lord. Like, it will be a fine set of leather riding gloves that are purposeful and decorative, just as you described. I will do you a great service. Uh, he doesn't know what to call you. He's
Dame
confused.
Linnell.
Dame Linnell.
Yeah, I think so. I think we ought to pay him, and we'll talk to the Castellan. And if the Castellan says, "Oh, you need to head out right away," we'll say, "Okay, well, they're uh, uh, commissioned, and you have to go pick them up yourself, or something like that."
Well, I mean, I would think we could even maybe because I have denaries, maybe I could pay Arb, is that his name?
Arn.
Arn, a few denarii to run them to us.
Hmm.
Yeah, if that comes to that, we just got to see what happens, right?
So what do I have to?
No, don't roll anything. I wouldn't roll anything yet. Just see how it plays out.
Okay.
I mean, if
But
it comes to that, then you Arn, he's like your squire. He's like your little page, I guess, temporarily.
Hmm.
All right,
choir and training.
something. All right. So you guys wash up. You do this kind of little errandy thing. Actually, I wonder, isn't buying stuff a little? Give me a. I think you should check worldly.
Worldly. I'm not doing it to be worldly.
I know, but knights don't usually do this kind of stuff, right? Oh, would it be? Yeah, it's worldly. Yeah, don't
Well,
roll world. Just put a check on world.
I would think that it'd be more generous than
Oh,
worldly.
it definitely is gonna be generous, but you going you do instead of sending your squire to do this, you did it on your own. So I think that's most knights don't do this money thing. This money thing is weird to them.
Well, no, I mean I would have sent my squire to pay
Well,
for
you
it.
didn't say you sent your squire to pay
All
for it.
right, fine, whatever.
In the future.
Just trying to make me worldly, and she's not trying to be worldly.
Well,
She's actually trying to be generous and all that.
your generous is probably checked already.
I don't know. I didn't like
Well,
it is.
I don't know if this is necessarily generous because you are making up for something that you lost. Now, I would say that giving extra money, giving like a lot of silver coins to a little kid would probably be pretty generous if it comes to that. So, okay. All right. So anyway, moving on, yes.
Yes. I mean, we're meeting with the not the
Castellan,
count,
the
but
Castellan. Yeah,
Lord
so I just
Hefford.
Sir Hiffith.
Hefford.
Yeah. Or high, I guess it would be high fifth, probably high fifth, right? Sir high fifth. So what? So make sure what are you going to tell your host? How much information? Remember, the king sent you to find the king on Camel Yard. So but this is a castellan, which is a high level trusted position,
Hmm.
right? Okay.
And do we know where Leo de Grance is? I thought he
No,
was
no,
no.
no. All Okay, so after eating, Sir Hyphath calls you to the front of the hall to explain your business here.
Mhm.
So what do you tell him?
Well, I think Dame Linnell would first start off by saying that, my did he feed our squires too?
Oh yeah, of course they eat.
Okay. Then she would say, I give you my greatest gratitude for taking us in and allowing us to dine with you on such a delightful meal. And my squire is willing to most likely wash your boots for you after a meal that good. Just, I'm not trying to be rude, just very thankful.
Okay, you can attempt a courtesy roll.
I don't know what you want to do, Arlen.
I think I'll just say, yeah, it's,
Of course I will.
appreciate the hospitality. And we're hoping that you can send us in the direction of King Leodegrance because we bear a message for him.
I see. Well, he seems to take it all in, and then he retires for the night.
Well, before he retires for the night, can I ask him one more question?
Sure, because you're being discourteous anyway, right? So,
I'm not trying to be discourteous. It's just I wanted to ask his opinion about the leather gloves. Should I, before we, meet for breakfast in the morning, should I, employ Arb to run the gloves to us when they're completed, or do you feel as though it is not that far to where Leo de Grance and the rest of them are?
he kind of looks at you a little confused because if you need leather gloves, Dame Linnell, Sir Clarion, we have fine leather workers here in Carwace. I will have someone introduce you to them. He
I've
seems
already
a bit he seems a bit obtuse about the whole thing because he's a castle and doesn't care about that stuff.
No, I think Dame Linnell and he's trusted, right? She would ask Sir Clarion if he's trusted.
What
Are you going to tell him what happened? Is that what you're trying to tell him what happened with
Well, I'm
King
trying to
Nim?
find out if he's trusted, then I would entrust him with the knowledge that something was very valuable was taken from us that we were to deliver to somebody, and I'm trying to do the honorable thing and still present the gift, but I can't replace the gift that was taken.
It's up to you if you want to tell him or not. I
Well,
mean, what
she's asking Sir Clarion if he feels
I
that.
don't I think it makes more sense to kind of wait and get him to tell us about like where Leo DeGrance actually is first and all of that rather than try to explain. He doesn't seem super interested in helping us out at all in the first place right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
Then
Um,
she would ask, if there's a chapel nearby that she could do her evening prayers, and would he also be in attendance with Sir Clarion and I as we do our evening prayers?
oh, okay.
And if not, then she would ask for his permission to pray for his safekeeping as well.
See what he says. He's challenge him on his piety. He's like, oh, um, I usually pray in person, but I thank you for praying for me. He doesn't seem interested in joining you, but you can. He says there is a fine chapel here in Carwace.
I appreciate it.
So if you actually go to do that, I'll let you roll your spiritual versus worldly.
I am gonna go do that because that's what she would do.
Okay.
I mean, she
Sir
is a lady,
Clarion.
Yeah,
investigator.
I'll go.
All right, so you can roll spiritual versus worldly.
I roll both.
Yeah, well, roll spiritual first.
Oh, I'm so spiritual.
Dude, that's awesome. Okay. You can check it and
I'm just
you can
spiritual. I'm not
both of you
as
can check it.
spiritual as Sir Clarion over here, and now I have to roll worldly.
No, you're
No,
no, no,
it's
no. since you made it, you're good. So
Okay.
you could both of you can check your spiritual. Um, it is noteworthy, Sir Clarion. You impress the I guess the priests or the holy, either the priests or nuns that are here at the chapel by
They're
your
ready to let you
devotion
bless the water.
and your prayers. And the priest tells you, Sir Highfifth is a loyal and strong castellan. I suggest you follow his instructions. Um, that is what the Lord tells me to tell you.
Okay.
Dame Linnell,
Have faith. He says, follow your prayers with faith, my son.
well, Dame Linnell would be
I mean,
praying.
you both hear that because
Yes. But Dame Linnell would also pray that the hands of the leather worker are swift and able, that the receiver of the gift is, you know, satisfied with it, and that those gloves bring him much protection.
You want the leather worker to make magical gloves for him. I don't know. I
No,
didn't.
just
Okay.
praying.
I'm fine. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right. So the next day, you pray. It's uneventful. No one tries to stab you in the middle of the night. Sir Highfifth is a hospitable man, an hospitable castellan. So the next day, you have breakfast with him. He continues to extend his hospitality, but he says, I bid you to not depart." So
Oh,
in a
right
way, he's
there.
not giving. He goes, I ask that you, by your faith, remain here for 3 days.
I mean, we have to be here for the gloves, but
All right. So you can actually make hospitality rolls if you feel, or you can just decide, yeah, sure. What's up to you?
Can we, so I would like to, if there's a moment alone with him, say something like, Sir Hyfetz, we're um willing to follow your requests, and your hospitality has been most generous, but our particular the duties entrusted to us have a fairly strict time frame associated with them, and if there's anything you can tell us about, you know, why we need to stay here, or if you can kind of perhaps explain the situation a little further, that might help us to understand and to be able to help with anything that might be going ill in the kingdom.
All right. So I will ask you to make a trusting versus suspicious, Sir Clarion.
All right, I will find trusting and roll,
So,
and I succeeded.
all right. So he definitely is within his rights to do this, and I guess you see like a telling smile on his face as he listens to you. He goes, "I tell you, my son," and he emphasizes again, uh, almost echoing the words of the priest, "Have faith, remain here for 3 days. This kingdom is fine." That's what he says. Take.
Okay.
It
Well,
seems
he
that you
seems
and
super
Dame
trustworthy,
Yeah, it
so
seems that you and Dame Linnell have been traveling pretty hard. I see. I suggest you go see my children. I see you are slightly injured, from either or road weary. It is rare that I have knights come and join me in hunts and other things.
I well, Dame
okay.
Linnell is she with you, Sir Clarion, or
Well, you took him aside, right, Sir Clarion?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I figured with Dan Linnell that
Okay.
we, the two of us would just, a
You
private
can you can
or
check
semi-private.
your trusting, by the way.
Too interesting.
Okay. Dame Linnell, any reaction or to this or
well, I mean, Dame Linnell has a pretty strong trust in God, and if she's told, as a lady of the court, if she is told to be patient and wait and trust, that is what she is trained to do.
Yep. Okay.
Um, so the
You
only
can
thing that she would do is she would tell Sir Clarion, I guess I need to purchase another outfit.
they Sir Hip oh Dame Linnell, do not worry. Uh if you not bring enough courtly outfits. He says also I've heard of he does say I've heard of your young knight prowess at the Battle of Carleon. You took the banner from the Knights of Gore, correct?
Oh, yes, with Sir
Yes.
Clarion's help.
So I if you can wear the trappings of a knight if you wish, but if you wish the trappings of a lady, as is your right, I can provide for you. You know.
Well, she will ask him, since you are the lord of this manor at the moment, it is your right to tell me how you wish me to be dressed. And
But I am saying, no, I'm gonna double down on my courtesy to you, and I'm gonna say, no, you can dress the way you want to, because this is T.H. White enlightened King Arthur time.
Well, I don't. Anybody who wants to preserve the image of T.H. White as enlightened, don't look too deeply into his politics and his, real
Right.
life.
This is true. But anyway, this is like
But yeah,
sword in the stone, you know.
yeah, yeah.
well, I would think Dame Linnell,
So it's up
as
to you. It's ultimately it's up to you, Amy,
I would
for
think
your character.
as a lady, she would be trained that when she is not in battle, that she is to submit to the lord of a keep and remain as a lady.
Okay. All right.
Especially since Sir Clarion is there. It's not like she can't go get her sword and stuff, and it's not like she can't.
All right. I'm gonna give you a check to courtesy or hospitality, whichever one you want. All right. I mean like a check mark, right? Okay, so the remainder of the day then is taken with hunting small game. You can roll your hunting or falconry if you wish.
A check to station
No, hospitality or
already checked.
courtesy then.
Courtesy's already checked.
Oh well. Okay.
I mean, she's just that is what she was trained to do. Is you
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what else.
and I think
I
she
guess
would
we're gonna.
probably take out the handkerchief that she's been working on because she's making one for King Arthur too.
Okay.
She'll
Well,
continue.
again, to get he invites you to go hunting and falconing with him, so you can make attempt a hunting or falconry check.
Oh, that'd be
Mm.
she obviously would dress appropriate for that.
Right, right.
So
Well, you still dress,
as a
like
lady.
the blue cover to the
Mhm.
night is it it's not night segment, it's the fourth edition, is it the fourth edition yet? No, third edition King Arthur Pendragon book that has Arthur and Guinevere falconing. All right.
So hunting.
Hunting or falconry, whichever you choose. You're doing both. You're hunting small game, so either.
I'll do.
Um, she'll go with
Yeah.
falconry because what the heck, why not? And she
Oh,
failed miserably at it.
oh, that's okay. Um, so you gain a check, Sir Clarion, and 10 glory as you
Nice.
catch as you use your falconry to catch a prize of the hunt. I don't know what that would be. What would a
I would
falcon get?
I would rather
Like a rabbit or
not,
something.
Yeah.
not do well on my rolls here, and if we get into a battle, do better over there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a fine. So they add other stuff. You have like Hassenpfeffer, I guess. Fine Hassenpfeffer delight with the conies that Sir Clarion has helped to catch, and it's a fine meal. Um,
My
all right,
compliments to the hunter
right, right.
and to the cook.
And the night, I mean, the day passes uneventfully. If you have your squire check on the progress of the leather gloves,
Mhm.
it's going well. So, okay. On the second day, Lord Highfifth holds court again. He seems to enjoy this because it's probably boring and he never has people visit. So you can each attempt a courtly skill of your choice. So compose, courtesy, dancing, falconry, fashion, flirting, gaming, intrigue, literacy, orate, play instrument, recognize, religion, or singing.
Well,
Just let me know what you're doing. Narrate what you're doing.
out of all of that, I would think her lowest is dancing. She's not good at dancing.
You're gonna do like the dance from Excalibur, like Igraine did.
Don't know. Well, she'll try. I mean, she has better singing, but I'll try the
You can
dancing.
do any of those. It's any of those. You know.
Well, no, she's gonna lose on any of them, so let's try. Yeah, she failed at dancing.
All right.
Can
So
she
I'm gonna
try
Clarion,
teach the
singing instead?
I'm gonna teach these Northerners how to play Texas Hold'em.
some gaming.
Nope, don't succeed in teaching them how to play.
Okay.
Can she try singing?
Yeah, I'll let you try. You didn't. None of you fumbled, so I'll let you try again. I mean, you could roll. I mean,
No,
you
I
could
fumbled
actually.
at singing.
Oh no, it's awful.
It's her
Oh
voice
no.
cracked or something. Or maybe she went to sing and
I don't
she's
know.
lost her voice or something.
Right. Unfortunate. Huh. With that, roll a hospitality.
Oh, something else for me to fail at. Um, I'm looking for it.
Well, there should be consequences for fumbles. Because then we just have frivolous rolls everywhere.
Where is hospitality?
It's under passion.
No under passions. She failed it, but didn't fumble it.
All right. I'm gonna have you.
Of course, you're
Hmm.
gonna make me lose something from, aren't you?
No, you're kind of distraught that you kind of made a almost embarrassed yourself there with the singing. So
Because she's been drinking.
has she? Uh-oh. We're checking worldly again. Um,
No, I mean, don't they say that if you drink before you sing, your voice suffers?
maybe.
She's not been practicing her singing, so
Right. Let's see.
it's nothing. She's not doing anything outlandish, and it's not like she was singing a seductive song.
Hmm.
You really want to make it into something that's not, though.
Yeah, I
But
do. Okay. Oh, yeah. For the rest of the night, um,
she's embarrassed. She'll probably retire to her room.
okay.
She'll apologize first to Hesef, and then she'll say, I believe this is my cue to head to prayers and then to bed."
Mhm. All right. Roll it hospitality again, I guess.
Really are trying to make me lose hospitality here. Thought I was successful.
All right. So you become melancholy, and exactly as you described is probably what happens because you're only melancholy for, you know, the rest of the night because your hospitality is a 10, right? So, okay. Yeah. You're just melancholy for the rest of the night. But actually, um, that gives you glory, doesn't it? Or Arwen, if you fail a pass. Arlen,
I think it's just if you fumble the passion
no,
that
if you go melancholy, you get glory. Yes, a character who falls into melancholy gains glory.
Glory for bad singing.
Yeah, so it ended up being. So I guess you get the equal to your 50, you get 25 glory. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's
Where's
right.
my glory for bad singing?
That's what happened. Well, because you're so not because of the bad singing, because you're so embarrassed. You think you felt like you insulted the Lord. Everyone kind of saw that. She's a bad singer, but she
Well,
understands
I'm
what.
assuming she didn't even get the words out. Her voice just probably cracked,
Yeah,
and
well, there
that
you
was
go.
it. And she's done with that.
All
No
right.
more singing. She's not only embarrassed, that's the first time she's sung in front of Clarion, and so that that it just all in all, it's not been good for her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, however, as dinner approaches on that second day, uh, with the sun setting in the west and Dame Linnell having retired to her room in a fit of melancholy, a clamor comes from the bailey. Open the gate. The king has come. You hear?
Which king?
Uh, there is a usual activity for such an occasion as grooms rush out to 10 horses. So Highfifth comes down to meet his liege, who also receives a goblet of drink. There's three other knights plus squires have arrived with the king. So do you go to meet them or not?
Well, Dame Linnell would get up and be dressed appropriately as a lady
Okay.
because she didn't sleep in her armor, and she would go down and meet them.
All right. So it is King Leo de Grance of Cameliard, of course. It's his liege lord.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think,
So
yeah, we should go and say hi. Be like,
okay,
hey, we got an important message for you. Doesn't need to be taken care of right now, but
very nice. Okay. Um,
Dame Linnell would, I don't know that he's ever seen Dame Linnell in a dress, but she would curtsy and bow to him.
mhm. All right. Well,
Malige, good evening.
all right. So I will, since you say wait till he settles, I will give you guys can check your modest. All right. So, and then Sir Hyphith gives you two a nod and introduces you. The king is like grim and tired, but he gives you both a nod of recognition, maybe a wink as appropriate because you guys have fought with him and the sword tournament and also in Carleon.
Mhm.
He actually mentions you by name. He goes, Dame Linnell, not in
Great.
armor. Sir Clarion, good to see you again. Good to see you. Welcome to Caraway's Knights of Arthur. I trust you've been treated well during your stay.
Absolutely.
Sir Hyphith, let us come retire to the king's room, he says, and he strides off with the other knights. You guys can attempt a horsemanship roll.
horsemanship.
Yep.
At least she was successful.
All
No,
right.
she was successful.
Yeah, both of you are
Mm-hmm.
successful. So you see the horses are winded, sweating heavily. Hopefully they're not ruined. The king rode hard and fast to get here, apparently.
Mm.
Can I ask Patrick to help tend to the horses
Yeah,
and
he'll goes,
them
yes,
to,
yes, yes, my lady, yes.
And I
to
guess we also ought to retrieve the Bible from
Okay.
wherever it's stowed away so that we can give it to Leo de Grance.
Right, right. All right. So presently the squires arrive and summon you to dinner. King Leo de Grant is the last to enter to the hall. Fanfares, two buglers. So Hyphath announces his appearance. Everyone sits down. The king just digs into his meal so everyone can eat right away. All right. So as happened previously with Sir Hyphath, the king calls you to the front of the hall and questions you. So what
I
do you
would
tell him?
assume when he does that she would send for Patrick to retrieve from, I guess, her room or whatever, the Bible, and she would have wrapped it into, in some fine cloth
Mhm.
that she would have brought, kind of almost like gift wrapping.
All right.
We had so since it's been a couple weeks, I don't remember the specifics of what they told us to tell to Leo de Grance about where they need his army and stuff. But I guess yeah, we'll say like
You gonna
Your
say this in
Grace.
you gonna say it's in front of the court or?
No, no.
Um, uh, Seems like we probably hmm, hmm, I think
I
it
mean,
was supposed to
you
be
present him the
secret.
gift, right? And you tell him what happened
Yeah,
at the
I think
castle assault, right?
yeah, present him
I'm
the gift, tell him what
assuming,
happened, and say that we need to, speak privately about another message from Arthur.
yeah.
Okay.
Seems like the solution.
Were
All right.
we, Carl, out of character, were we supposed to say, my good sir, Lot is coming to attack King Arthur. Please join us in battle?
Yes, but that was a private message. That's what
Right,
Sir
but
Claire.
that's what we're
Yeah,
supposed to
yes.
say.
Yes,
Could
yes,
Dame
yes.
Linnell have written it on a piece of paper and
Oh,
tucked it in with the
definitely.
Bible?
You could do that too, but you could also tell him directly.
Well, yes, just in case we were not able to speak to him, she would have written it on the piece of paper.
Okay. All right. So he accepts the Bible. He chuckles at what happened with King Nim. I'm sorry to hear that. I will see. Do you tell him what you're trying to do to make up for it?
Yes.
He goes, he raises an eyebrow and says, I will see what I can do to make those gloves the finest gloves that have ever come out of our leather workers here at Carohase.
I,
Um,
I've
and he
I've
goes,
already
let us talk about this message. So he summons you straight to his private chambers and you give him the message.
yeah.
Hmm.
She would ask him if he would prefer that she arrive in the chambers dressed as a knight or as a lady. It is his choice. As a lady, we would not be given a choice, we would be told.
You probably should dress as a knight.
Then she would dress appropriately and then get there.
Okay. All right, so you transmit the message. He thanks you and he tells you that to await his decision. Um, and
This is now day
he
11.
dismisses you. Yeah, he dismisses you from his private chambers.
Okay.
And as you wait in the hall with the other knights, the other knights, actually the three knights had told you they just come from Norgals, um, from battle in Norgals, and there's a fighting against King Ryan's of Norgals.
Hmm.
So they're free. They freely tell you that because those three knights actually went with you into the chamber with King Leo de Grance.
Hmm.
So after this, as everyone waits, uh,
Well, while we're waiting, Dame Linnell would kneel with her hand on her sword and bow her head and pray. Because
okay.
I'm assuming the battle is still going on and they just left and rode hard here.
No, they left from the battle and rode hard here.
Were they successful?
It seems like they were successful.
Then she would praise the Lord for the success and continued success of our mission, and just basically it's her way of being. She's supposed to be a religious person, so she's being religious.
Okay. Well,
I want to.
the Knights of Camelliard say we've been on the road in battle. Please tell us what's going on or entertain us with song and music.
Oh, I don't sing.
So
So
I'll tell him about how Arthur is putting together a force to fight against King Lot, and it's looks like it's going to be a showdown between the High King and the False King. Um, and Arthur's gathering forces and mentioned that King Nim maybe is going to do the right thing, but we're not so sure. He seems to be kind of an asshole. Um, and I wanted to ask him about Count Sanum of Bettigrain, if they know anything, if there's any scuttlebutt about him,
okay.
since we're supposed to bring a message to him also.
Can Linnell ask Clarion if these are appropriate nights to ask if they've seen Lot and his group?
Well, if they've been in Norgals, I don't think they've seen. I guess unless because Lot himself definitely wasn't there because he's
No.
building up his army. I guess he might have sent, like a military advisor or something there, but it seems unlikely that they know.
Okay. Then she'll refrain from asking.
Okay. All right. Well, so no one wants to attempt to orate, play instrument, or sing.
I guess we could do something like that. Let's see.
How do I play an instrument?
So I'm not a play instrument kind of person, but I could do an orate to try to entertain him.
Ay, ay, ay.
Play instrument is a skill.
Yeah, but I
Well,
don't
I
know
mean,
how to do it.
She
she was
probably
so
won't sing
good.
because she's,
She won't sing,
yeah,
no.
melancholy about it.
But um,
You don't have to do anything. It just,
well, no, I'm looking as to what she could do. I mean, she has a zero in play instrument, but she can laugh and say, I messed. She'll tell them about the debacle with the singing and say, but I can always try playing an instrument. Cover your ears, and she'll attempt.
okay.
And she failed, but
Oh,
hey,
it's a zero though. You wouldn't be, you don't even know how.
right. That's why she said,
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
All right. And you're going to do orate?
Yeah, I could do orate to, tell him a story about King Arthur's court. Oh, I'll tell him King Arthur's speech
Oh,
about
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Adam and the foundation of knighthood and all that sort of stuff.
they
Okay.
should like that.
Yep. Nope.
Mm, they're like, that's fine and all, but out here on the frontier,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if that'll work yet. Perhaps if these northern lords are fall in line or whatever. All right. Well, about an hour later, the king re-enters the hall. From his dais. He summons everyone together, and he says, "You may tell your king that I, Leo de Grant, king of Camelyard, will be in Lambar with my army to meet him."
Just as an
Nice.
just as an aside, would Linnell gain anything from telling Leo de Grants about Sir James?
I don't know. I mean, if you follow Sir Clarion's advice, he would suggest that you don't do that. But although Earl Sanham, he remember he's might be loyal to King Lot or has sworn to fealty to King Lot. He might know something.
Yeah, well, we should ask Leo de Grants about Stanham of Bettagrain and what which side is he going to be on? Because we're supposed to go on a diplomatic mission to him also.
Well, we told him
And
about the gloves,
yeah,
and
you know about the bridle and the gloves and stuff, but we're a little concerned because we had heard that he might have pledged loyalty to King Lot back during the anarchy. So,
Right.
what would we have to roll for that? And please don't tell me I have to sing or orate or she's not good at any of those.
Okay. Um, he says, I do not know the Count Earl Sir Sanham, Count of Bettagrain. Hmm. He says, I don't know. It is up in the air of what this man might do.
mhm.
And what do you fear? I mean, I would have told him that that other king from the castle assault kept the bridle thinking it was for Leo de Grants
Right.
and made the comment that if he wanted that he'd have to come and grab it from him. She's just curious if he under if that's a joke amongst them or is he that way?
Oh, King Nim, he is
Could
that.
he
Alas,
could
he is
he
that
trust
way.
him?
I am. I. He kind of shrugs his shoulders. I am not concerned about King Nim, and he's like, he kind of chuckles at it. Really, he says, "And Earl, just you know, have faith, trust that you are honorable knights and well-known knights at that." because we will do what we can to help out. But we have won something up in Norgal, so perhaps I'm sure Count of Bettagrain has heard that already and may change his mind. I do not know. All right. So the entertainment keeps going until Leo de Grant announces that it grows dark outside. We all have far to go in the morning. So
Well,
rest well. All inform your squires to have your horses ready immediately after breaking our fast. You have a long ride ahead of you, he says.
well, Linnell will say, I would like to retire to the chapel for evening prayers. Would you be interested in joining me?
Yeah, Leo de Grants will do that. That is a good idea to thank God for our victories in Norgals and to ask him for guidance on the road ahead. So he will join you.
Yes.
All right. Sir Carleon, anything? Sir Clarion, sorry.
I'm just gonna follow Dame Linnell's lead, and I
Okay.
guess we'll go hang out in the chapel and say some prayers.
Yeah. And yeah, since you guys have done this consistently, I'll give you both a check on devotion to God if you have that. That's fine.
Well, I mean, right now she feels as though
No,
this is the
yeah,
best
well,
one.
not roll it, just check it.
I checked it.
Okay.
But I mean, it is what she would have been taught to do. She's been trying to do that.
Right. Okay. So I just need you guys to to attempt squire rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume Patrick would have been in the church praying.
Okay.
He better have been.
Oh no.
I
Ooh,
critically made it. He was right there.
he was ready. So what does this mean? I don't know. Your squire sleeps in, Sir Clarion, and your horse is not ready.
Really
So
gotta talk to him about it.
yeah. So, but fortunately, since Patrick was up early and he prayed, in fact,
I'm
you probably
assuming.
find your squire might have drunk a little too much and is a little sick, Sir Clarion. But
Okay.
but since Sir Patrick was on it, he had both your horses ready.
Yes.
Although
Linnell did.
King Leo de Grants or King Leo de Grants is probably not up yet, but Sir Ambrute says, "Oh, you share a squire?" He
No,
asks.
No,
no.
mine is just he's been going through a lot. Sleepy.
He goes, I see. There's no leadership skill, is there?
Well, can
No, not
Linnell
really.
leave a couple of pieces of silver for the stable master for thanking them for
Yeah, you can. That's great. Very generous.
is that
So
a
they
the
do,
denaries?
they bring the gloves, and the gloves have some sort of like silver, the etching has been highlighted in precious silver, so they're probably worth uh double what you paid. No.
Ah,
Nice.
2 pounds.
Yeah. All right.
She would thank them, and she would definitely, if the leather worker was there and he had one in his shop, she would definitely purchase a leather rosary from him.
I don't know if they would have that.
No, okay. Because I mean, she uses her rosary a lot, so
Yeah,
she
I mean, you probably have a nice one, so some sort of
well,
either metal or precious beads or something,
she would make sure
precious
Patrick
glass
had
beads.
one. Because I mean, look at how
Yeah.
he's very religious himself.
All right. Okay. So anyway, um, I guess this is Leo de Grants. He does show up. He says, Sir Ambrute will guide you to the edge of the kingdom. Cross it, and you'll be in Bettagrain County. I wish you Godspeed, and don't forget to stay on the road in the forest of the Silver Deer. Do not veer off the path. Ride well. He says that as he turns to hurry off, for he has an army to muster. You can attempt a folklore check.
folklore. Would he have also attended morning prayers with her?
No, he probably prays in his chamber, so no. Oh, Linnell gets a okay. So you don't recall anything, Sir Clarion, about the forest of up the forest of the Silver Deer. But you
Arlen knows
recall,
something about Pendragon, but Sir Clarion doesn't.
yeah, success recalls that the forest of the Silver Deer is an enchanted forest. So you had best do what you are told.
Okay. Enchanted, stay on
Is
track.
that true, Arlen? That
Yeah, Pendragon is a real. It's a forest in Arthurian myth.
yeah, yeah. All right, so Sir Ambrute stops at the River Trent. There's a ford at the border, and he points down the road. Stick to the road, and it's a half a day away. And the route looks to follow a paved Roman road.
Okay.
And
Where
this might be a good place to stop.
where
Truth be
on our
told,
map would that be?
um, I think the River Trent is here.
Okay, so we're heading up this way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. Be like here. It says a ford though, so maybe it's like here, possibly there. That looks like where a ford could be. And then there's a forest to the north there, so that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, so I think it's a good place to stop as we enter the forest of the Silver Deer. I
Cool,
promised
cool.
only like 2 hours to hold everyone, and I think people like small snippets.
Yes.
So he stops there, and you follow the Roman road. The woods are very beautiful than you have experienced anywhere else, but they look very wild. They're not totally chaotic, as if some wild gardener tended and cared for them. All right, we will stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess we had a little adventure in Caraways. Not a lot of
Hmm.
fighting and action, but more some court stuff and some character advancement. So until next time, when we play Pendragon, hopefully sooner rather than later, but we will see.
Thank you for running.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
thanks
Thanks,
so much.
Carl.
All right.